You are now tuned in to Mental Salvation Radio with Enoch, 7th Prophet.
O ancestors, blacker than 1,000 midnights, African ancestors, it is to you that we, your children, give respect and honor. O ancestors, we call upon you and welcome you in this place. African ancestors, let your presence fill this place. O ancestors who have been purposely excluded from the history books so that the world may not know of your greatness. Our African ancestors who gave civilization to the world. Our African ancestors who gave the arts to the world. Our African ancestors who gave the sciences to the world. Our African ancestors who gave mathematics to the world. Our African ancestors who gave literature to the world. Our African ancestors who gave music to the world. Our African ancestors who gave philosophy to the world. Our African ancestors who gave God consciousness to the world. O ancestors, we thank you for devoting your life to make a future for us, your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Now stand with us, strengthen us, guide us, teach us, and protect us from the snare of our enemies. Rise up, O African ancestors, and live in us, and we will not fail to honor you. We will not fail to respect you. We will not fail to hear you, and we will not betray you. Ashe.
Praise Jehovah, hallelujah, praise Jehovah, holy, 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 Lord God, Jah Almighty, wash away my sins, cleanse me. One world, one God. Where did we lose the love we had? We were one till Cain killed Abel.
Welcome to another installment of Mental Salvation Radio. I'm Enoch, 7th Prophet, and today's date is June 27th, 2020. And this is podcast number 9. We have made it to podcast number 9. We thank everybody for downloading, uploading, sharing, listening, and inquiring about the show. I definitely appreciate it. At the top of the hour, of course, we always do the ancestor prayer, and then we'll go into a quick song, and that was by Apple Gabriel, and that was called Holy Version. It's called Holy Version. Apple Gabriel was and is a part of Israel Vibrations, just in case you want to Google that brother and things of that nature. But once again, like I said, this is podcast number 9. Today's date is June 27th, 2020, and I want to welcome y'all to another installment of Mental Salvation Radio. And like we always do, we'll be right back with some good news. So stay locked. Mental Salvation Radio. Fellas, ladies, do you want to stand out in the crowd? Do you want to continue being unique when it comes to fashion? Well, I have the ultimate solution that's custom made just for you. The owner, Sandra Clark of Jazzy Ass Designs, will add spice to your wardrobe. Follow her on Instagram at Jazzy Ass Designs. That's JAZEAZ Designs, or www.sandraclarkdesigns.com. That's CHANDRA ClarkDesigns.com. She'll be waiting for you. And we're back with some good news. So we're going to kick this good news off like we always do with like some birthday shouts, some born day shouts, and some anniversaries, and all good news that does actually get lost in the sauce of everything else that's going on in the world today. And like I always tell y'all, I never go back and edit the podcast. And if I mess up, make mistakes, you hear it, whether it's live time, and then you'll hear it when you download it. So, hey, it is what it is, yo. All right, so let's start it off for the month of June. So June 22nd, we want to wish a happy 1-year anniversary, wedding anniversary to Afi Soul and her husband. So happy anniversary, 1-year anniversary to wedding anniversary to Afi Soul. Also, on June 24th, we want to wish Natasha Brown, a.k.a. Tot. We all call her Tot. She's part of the family. We all call her Tot in the family. So, hey, Tot, happy birthday. Happy Earth Day. Tot turns 47. I'm about to say 27, but you're not that old. You're 47 years old, so happy Earth Day to you. Also, my cousin, on June 24th, her and her husband celebrated 8 years of marriage. Big up to Nikita and Joey. So happy wedding anniversary, 8 years to both of you. Kita is like my BFF. She's my cousin, but she considers herself my BFF. So happy wedding anniversary to you, cuzzo. Also, in that same vein, on June 25th, I want to wish Rob and his wife, Robert and his wife, who lives in Plainfield, New Jersey, I believe. I think they stay in Plainfield, New Jersey, but they go to my cousin's church. And I want to wish them a 43 years of marriage. That's a long time. That's a long time. 43 minutes is a long time, but 43 years is even longer, and they're still thriving. They're still kicking it. And every time that I see the couple, man, they always look happy to me. You know what I'm saying? So big up to you, and I definitely wish you a happy 43 years of a marriage and many more. To everyone who's celebrating their birthday, their Earth Day, their born day in June, happy Earth Day to everybody. Happy anniversary to everybody who is celebrating the anniversary. Also, in other good news, we have a lot of good news to share. So also in other good news, Mental Salvation Radio is now on iHeartRadio. So you'll still hear us live here on Wow You Radio, which is a Black-owned radio station. So you will still hear us live on wowuradio.net, but also you can catch the downloads and the uploads. If you can't get on your phone to check me out live, you can also hear me on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So we're everywhere all the time. Mental Salvation Radio. Also, some more good news to share. Now, if you live in DC, not the Washington DC area, because that don't matter right now. If you live in DC and you are part of the 700,000 people who live in the District of Columbia, on Friday the 26th, the House passed a bill to make Washington, D.C. the 51st state, which that would make our mayor, Marion Bowser, a governor if they pass this bill. If the bill gets through Congress, if they pass it, and we become the 51st state, then she will be a mayor. I mean, she would be a governor, which I think is dope. So it was approved. The bill was approved, 232 to 180 vote, right? So if the legislation would give Washington residents who have long decried the fact that they pay federal taxes but have no voting representation in Congress, one House member and 2 senators, a smaller area in the White House, U.S. Capitol, and other federal buildings and monuments would remain U.S. oversight, right? So big up to Eleanor Holmes Norton. She's been a very strong Black woman in this whole fight of trying to get us representation in the House. So Washington's longtime non-voting House delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton introduced the bill, which would change the name of the district to the state of, this will be the name of the 51st state if it passes, right? Washington Douglas Commonwealth. In advocating for the legislation Friday, she noted that DC's population of about 700,000 is larger than that of Wyoming or Vermont, and that the district pays more federal taxes than 22 states. Dang, Mo. That's crazy. So since we're approaching like 4th of July, it is long past to apply the nation's oldest slogan, no taxation without representation, and the principle of consent of the governed to District of Columbia residents, Norton said. So, we just hope this bill passes. And some people would say it will never be a state, because there's a lot of politics here and politics and whoring around and things of that nature. But it's what it is. It is what it is, but that's the step. So big up to everyone who has been fighting the cause of that, and we definitely appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. So that's part of the